Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Taste with the Intrepid Wino. My name is James Stonybroke and thank you for watching. As you might be able to tell, I am very excited to be watching my football team, the Western Bulldogs, play in their first grand final since 1961 today. Obviously back then they were the Footscray Bulldogs, and they certainly were for most of my childhood. And you know, having some family over, opening some lovely wine, and I thought what an opportunity to taste the three Glenguin Estate Shiraz wines that I mentioned in the last edition of Let's Taste. Glenguin Estate, as I think I mentioned, Robin Tedder is the vigneron, master of wine in Hunter Valley. Hunter Valley has a really strong reputation with Shiraz wines, indeed. And you know, under screw cap, they should be nice and fresh. All from the 2014 vintage, but I'm not sure. I think the Stonybroke is sort of the estate wine. Then there's a single block, and then there's a reserve. So all different retail prices. Let's start off with the Stonybroke 2014 Shiraz. Recommended retail price $27.50. Let me know what you guys are doing, or what you guys did, I guess, for grand final. If you were lucky enough to get tickets, I'm envious. What did you open? What did you have it with? Nice and juicy, very classic, sort of plum, blackberry, blueberry sort of fruit aromas. A little bit of sort of salty raspberry. Quite mellow on the nose. Bit of oak in there as well. Let's taste. Nice and fresh. The alcohol is very good, very balanced. The fruits not too heavy and dubey, it's quite balanced. There's just the tiniest hint of savoury in there. Sort of more like some sweet spices. But look, very drinkable Shiraz. Not a bad start at all. So on to the Schoolhouse Block 2014 Shiraz. Recommended retail $45. So you can see there's a bit of a jump up in terms of premium kind of image with these larger and heavier bottles. A bit denser, darker fruits here. Sort of dried cranberries, more blood plum, starting to move into some black currants. Earthier, really sort of some savoury sweet spices here. More oak as well. Let's taste. A little bit more intense in the palate, but still very fresh. There's a lot more going on here on top of the fruit. There is a sort of a slightly sweet core of fruit there. You know, quite ripe sort of raspberry jam here, but not really sugary jam. You know, some cardamom, some cinnamon as well. Very solid, very solid. Bit of nutmeg. Really fills the palate. A fairly classic Australian expression, pre that era where everyone was going for big, bold fruit, alcohol and oak. Well made. The last one is the Aristea 2014 Shiraz. In this case, recommended retail is $60. Quite bright in the glass this time. Really lovely colour. Woof. Really savoury. Yeah, very meaty, leathery. This is quite wild. I dare say that there was some sort of whole bunch. This is very uncharacteristic of Australian Shiraz, in my opinion. Yeah, a lot going on here. Yeah, cured meats, some dried rosemary, lamb fat. I mean, there are characters in here which remind me more of tertiary, like bottle-aged characters. Let's taste. Not too heavy on the palate. It's quite light and lithe. The savoury character is not as pronounced as it was on the nose, on the palate. It's looking quite balanced. The fruits, there's some dried fruits in there. But yeah, like it's quite savoury. I dare say that there was a fair amount of oxidative handling of this wine, because it really is quite savoury. It kind of reminds me of, you know, some Northern Rhone Valley French Syrah wines. I'm actually really surprised at that. That isn't a really interesting, delicious, and different Australian Shiraz. And look, the difference between these two is quite astonishing. The Schoolhouse block shows a little bit more new oak. The fruit is a little bit riper and darker. The wine seems a little bit more protected, if that makes sense. Whereas the Aristea, it's been let go. It's been allowed to sort of find its own rhythm. It's really interesting. So thank you very much to Glenguin for very generously donating samples. It's been a privilege to taste 6 wines from the Hunter Valley, which I don't really get to taste wines from very often. If you did enjoy this video, guys, please hit that like button, leave a comment, share it. Make sure you are subscribed to the Intrepid Wino YouTube channel. Come visit me at intrepidwino.com. You can follow me on social media at intrepidwino, and please get in touch if you'd like to send me samples. But until next time, cheers.